crafty friends, Melissa Miner from the Cards by Melissa Miner YouTube channel here today, and I am so excited to be working with the February 2025 Love from Lizi card kit. Today I'm going to be making 8 cards with this kit, so let's go ahead and get started. First in front of me, I have a piece of blue cardstock cut to 5.5 by 11, and this is going to be our card base. Next, we're going to score this piece. We're going to score it at 3.5 and then again at 7.5. From here, we're going to rotate this piece of cardstock. We're going to pull out a pencil and we're going to make a mark at 2 3/4. And the reason we're making this mark now is this will be easier so we can add this piece of cardstock into our trimmer. All right, now that we have the places marked, I'm going to go ahead and grab my paper trimmer. I'm going to also fold in on those score lines that we just made by using my bone folder to reinforce those score lines. Next, I'm going to place this card base into my paper trimmer and I'm going to line it up at that 2 3/4 mark that we made. And then I'm also going to bring it in, line up the end where we have that score mark. And we're just going to cut from edge to edge. So we're making a little triangle here. So we'll do that on both sides. Find our score mark, find our mark at 2 3/4 and make a cut. And do that on both sides. So now we have a card base that looks like this. And I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder here and just reinforce that. Next, I've taken a piece of the pattern paper and I've cut this to 5 3/8 by 7 3/8, and I'm adding a little bit of adhesive and we'll put that in the center. I've cut a piece of cardstock that's the light tan to 2.5 by 1 3/4, and I want to go ahead and stamp on here. So the stamp I'm bringing in that says, "You're a QT." So I'm going to put this in my mini Misty and I'm going to bring in some Versamark ink because I want to do some embossing. There is an add-on this month for some rose gold embossing powder and I am obsessed with it. It is so beautiful. Trust me, you need to get this. All right, so I've added a little bit of the embossing powder. I'm taking a little paintbrush here and I'm just making sure that I don't have any excess. I'm going to pour this back into the container. And now I'm going to bring in my heat tool so that you can see the magic on this. So let me grab my tweezers here. And I want to go ahead and heat this up. So let me bring this in and we'll get this heated. And can you see that transform right before your eyes? Let me try to hold it up to the camera here so you can see it. If I can get the right spot, the light to reflect off of it, it is gorgeous. Okay, next what I want to do is add one of the little floral ephemera pieces from the kit. So we'll get that placed on here. And then off camera, I went ahead and stamped the little teacup from the stamp set. I used the rose gold embossing powder and then I fussy cut that out with my scissors. To finish off our little sentiment, I'm adding 3 of the mini circle rose gold mirror peel-offs. So we'll put those up here in the corner. And now we are ready to add the sentiment to the inside of the card. Now we want to make sure that it's not going to show when it's closed. So I'll just check that and there we go. That looks good. And then for the back, I just used a die and cut out a panel for the back. So on this card, we've got the inside really pretty and you can do your message on the back of the card. Okay, I need a belly band to hold this card closed. So I've taken a piece of the light tan cardstock and cut that down to 1 by 10. And now I'm bringing in the Sway Ice Blue Mirror peel off. This is from the Variety Peel Off bundle. And I'm just going to place that along this 1 by 10 inch strip. So we'll get that placed down just to add a little extra interest. And it doesn't have to go all the way from end to end because that's going to be covered up. Next, I'm taking my bone folder here and I'm just kind of curling it like you would ribbon. And that's just going to make it form a little better onto the card. So we're going to add a little bit of adhesive here. We want to be careful not to glue it to the card, but to the actual belly band itself, and we'll get that glued down. And then I've taken a die from my stash and I've cut a doily. So this is again from the blue cardstock. I'm going to add a little bit of glue. So then we'll add our doily here right to the center of this belly band. And now we can embellish this doily here on the belly band. So I want to bring in one of the die cut ephemera pieces that came in the kit, and I've picked out this cute little mouse that's sitting in a teacup, or actually he's in a teapot. So we'll put a little bit of foam on the back of him just to pop him up. And I'm using a little bit of tacky glue here. So we'll get that pressed down. And there, I think that looks cute. And then to finish this off, I want to bring in some glue dots. And then there were some bows that were included in the card kit. So I want to use one of these white bows. And I'll get this adhered down here with a glue dot. And I want to put it on the side, right here on the belly band. And that is going to finish this card. And I actually made 2 of these, so let me bring in another one here. And I used a different pattern paper for the inside, but you can see here the exact same card. All right, let's go ahead and start on card number 2. Now for this one, I'm bringing in a stamp from my stash because I want to use that gorgeous rose gold embossing powder again. So I'm stamping the sentiment hello. And I'm going to get lots of ink on here. And then I'm going to pour on some of the embossing powder, place it over my tray so that I can easily put the excess back into the container. I'm going to go over just a couple spots again. I'm going to tap that off. And then we'll go ahead and get this heat set. So I'm bringing in my heat tool, and let's see if I can bring it up to the camera better this time. And you see that just completely transform into that gorgeous shiny rose gold. Now I do have a matching die, so I'm going to use here my platinum rose gold spellbinders machine. And we'll go ahead, and there's our sentiment. So we have that ready for the card. So I'm going to set that to the side. For this card, I've cut several pieces, 1.5 by 1.5 squares. We're going to need 6. And then I've corner rounded the opposite corners. So I've corner rounded on that first white paper, the upper right and the bottom left. And then I alternated on the next one to the blue pattern paper. I cut the upper left with my corner rounder and the bottom right. And so I'm just going to toggle these going down our card base. This is an A2 4¼ by 5.5 card base. I'm using that same doily die from my stash, and I've cut this out of a piece of vellum. Now I just want to put on some embellishments here. So here is the word hello that I cut out using that embossing powder. And I think that's so pretty. It gives just such a statement with that embossing powder. And let me bring in some foam, and we'll add a little bit of foam to the back of this rabbit. I said rabbit, I meant mouse. And we'll get him stuck up here. And I think I want to pop up the sentiment on foam, so I'm going to end up peeling that up. Now, while I'm gluing down the pieces here, I want to mention that I will have links listed down below in the description box to the Love from Lizi card kit, which you can purchase it individually or sign up for a subscription, and then all of the gorgeous add-ons that are this month. And I do appreciate when you shop my links, as I receive a small commission at no extra charge for you. Now, if you haven't seen the unboxing, I will leave listed down below in the description box a link to my unboxing over on my Cards by Melissa Miner YouTube channel. All right, so I have my sentiment here that I want to add, and I also stamped this off camera using that rose gold embossing powder from the add-on, and it says just a little note to say hello. Now to finish this card off, I'm going to add a panel to the inside, just a white panel to write the message. And then I'm adding a few of the mini circle rose gold mirror peel-offs that came included in the kit. So I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm going to add one up here at the top and then two at the bottom. So this is going to finish off our card number 2. Let me get this last peel off on here, and then I'll hold this up, and then we'll start on card number 3. So there we go. That is completed card number 2, and I did make 2 of these. Super cute. All right, now for card number 3, I love mixed media, so I'm bringing in some paint. This is called Egg Noggin. It's a Vibes. It's a shimmery paint, so it has lots of shimmer. I set that aside to dry, and now I'm bringing in the cute little sentiment from the stamp set. It says, "Let's have a spot of tea." And I'm stamping it right here on the top of our A2 card base. This piece here is 2.5 by 5.5, so I'm using the pattern paper. We'll add that to the bottom. And then I have a piece of this blue pattern paper. It's about 3/4 by 5.5, and I'm tearing it towards me to expose the white core. I'll get this adhered down. And then between the transition of the 2 pieces of cardstock, I'm going to bring in a little bit of the peel-offs. So I thought it would look nice to bring in the pinstripe bundle that's from the add-on, and I'm using the white with gold finish. So I love the way that this white with gold finish peel-off looks, so I'll go ahead and put this right here where this transition is. It's such a little detail, but you really notice it up close. It's very, very pretty. Trimmed off the end. And now I'm going to add the excess back onto my peel-off sheet. Using the same doily set that I've been using, this is a little bit larger one. I cut it in half, and I'm placing it on the side of the card. And now I want to bring in this little fabric strip of daisies. And to adhere this, I'm using some Nuvo Deluxe glue, and I find it works great and it dries clear. So it's perfect for gluing down ribbons, die cuts, all kinds of things. And I probably should have glued it down before I stuck the doily on here, but that's okay. I can just manipulate it a little bit, trimming off one of the daisies. I had one too many. And then we'll give this a good press. Now to embellish the card, I've added some foam to the back of this cute little mouse. And then I'm adding a few of the mini flower gems that came in the kit to the left side. And to finish this one off, from the variety bundle, it's an add-on, I'm bringing in 3 of the mini hearts to place them along the right-hand side of the card, right on this doily. And we'll get this last one on here, and that is going to finish up card number 3. And I did make 2 of these to give our card count of 6. All right, let's go ahead and start our final card. This is card number 4. And this time I'm using some of the rose gold mirror cardstock that came in the kit. And I'm bringing in a die from my stash. And I'm adhering the die down with a little bit of mint tape. And I'm going to run this through my Platinum Scout machine. So we'll get this die cut. I love this specialty rose gold mirror cardstock that came in the kit. It is gorgeous. So we'll get this die cut. And that looks really good. So I thought it would be perfect to bring in some teacups to go with this set. Now to start this card, this piece is 2.5 by 4 1/4. We'll put that on the bottom. And then another piece of cardstock at the top, and this one is 1.5 by 4 1/4. Then where the 2 papers come together, I'm bringing in some pinstripes from the add-on pinstripe bundle, and I've got the rose gold mirror pinstripes here. These are so pretty, and it's going to look perfect with this rose gold mirror cardstock that I'm going to use here in just a moment. So we'll get these pinstripes tacked down. And now I can add my teacup. So off camera, I did do some embossing. I used more of the rose gold embossing powder from the add-on, and I stamped a teacup on the pattern paper, and then I fussy cut it out, and then I also used the embossing powder and stamped the little details of a plate. And these two I'm going to add right on top of this die cut here. And I also stamped another hello. Again, use the embossing powder. And there's so much rose gold and sparkle on this card. So we'll get the teacup popped up with some foam tape. And then I want to bring in lots of pieces of the ephemera. So in the kit, there's a lot of florals. And so my idea here is to add florals coming out of the teacup. So we'll tack this down. That's so pretty. And now I've got my stack and sort tray here with the ephemera pieces. So I just want to find the floral pieces. I want some of the ones that look like wheat. And then I want a little hint of blue. So I'll add some to the right and the left. I want to give it some height, so I'm going to vary the pieces that I used. And I want to make sure that I don't use the little pieces that have butterflies. I just want the flowers. So I'm going to stick these in the top of the teacup up here. So let me find the ones that I think will work, and any of these would really work. And I think it needs maybe one more. So let me look here to see what kind of height I have. And I think that's going to finish it off. That looks so pretty. Now to finish this card off, I do want to bring in some of the mini circle rose gold mirror peel-offs that came in the kit. And so off camera, I'll go ahead and place those 2 in the upper left and then 1 in the lower right. So let me go ahead and show you the finished card. And this is our 4th card. And I did make 2, bringing our card count to 8. So if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. I will leave links down below to my personal Facebook page, my Instagram page, and my YouTube channel, and I would love for you to follow me on my own channels as well. Again, I'll have links to everything used today, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!